Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about the ultimate form of speed control. Trick Room. This one is a personal favorite of mine because it can twist the dimensions. Get it? No? Okay, well, let's get right into it. So, what is Trick Room? Trick Room is one of the most feared and misunderstood strategies in competitive Pokemon because it flips the rules of speed. Pokemon such as Regieleki, Miraidon, the fastest Pokemon in the format, are now the slowest to move. Meanwhile, Pokemon like Torkoal, for example, or Ursaluna now become the fastest. This is important because it allows slower Pokemon to invest more of their EVs or stat points into bulk and power instead of bulk and speed. Which means that if you have a team that's able to consistently get Trick Room up, your Pokemon are not only bulkier, but stronger. And because of Trick Room, you now have 4 turns where they're the fastest on the field. Trick Room is a very punishing archetype because you need to have a way to deny Trick Room if you don't use it yourself, or a way to consistently stall out Trick Room, which, trust me, the Trick Room user knows how you want to stop it. Whether you're a rising competitor aiming for your first regional top cut, or a veteran preparing for a major, mastering Trick Room is one of the most clear paths to controlling games on your own terms. So let's break this down. What exactly is Trick Room? Trick Room is a status move that reverses the order in which Pokemon move for 5 turns, including the turn it is set. Under Trick Room, the slowest Pokemon move first, while the faster Pokemon move last, ignoring speed investments. This is very important as some of the game's strongest Pokemon are slow to balance their high offensive and defensive stats. Trick Room flips this into an advantage, letting them move first, and essentially making them the ultimate Pokemon. Trick Room Pokemon often skip speed investments or speed EVs, allowing them to invest fully into bulk and offense, gaining an efficiency edge while still moving first. These make these Pokemon much more bulky than others. Trick Room has also won 9 of the World Championships, proving its historic and consistent viability, which is honestly insane. So, now that we know about Trick Room, that being said, how do we build a Trick Room team? When it comes to Trick Room, a classic team often includes 2 Trick Room setters, either bulky or offensive, 1 to 2 supporting Pokemon to secure setup, with 1 to 2 sweepers to pressure under Trick Room. Now, this team building structure isn't rigid, as you'll see many teams often use hard Trick Room variants with 3 to 4 sweepers, or even semi-Trick Room, where there isn't one dedicated sweeper. Our Trick Room teams are strongest when Trick Room is up but weaker outside of it, often carrying 1 fast Pokemon to help whenever Trick Room is down. Not every Trick Room team needs to be fully dedicated. Even a team with only 2 Pokemon that can take advantage of Trick Room can leverage it as a key strategy, as seen in multiple Worlds winning builds. So for our Trick Room setters, they need to survive to guarantee Trick Room or set it while applying immediate pressure. Bulky examples include Farigiraf, Indeedee, or even when we look at restricteds, Calyrex Ice and Lunala. These Pokemon need to not only set Trick Room, but also provide value while they're on the field. This is why you see Pokemon such as Oranguru with Instruct, so it's able to do something once Trick Room's set up. Supporting Pokemon protect the setter by using Fake Out, such as with Incineroar or Scrafty, or Redirection, such as Amoonguss or Indeedee, to secure setup. In a Trick Room user's perfect world, they'd want their Redirector to faint on turn 1 as you set Trick Room. Why? The reason for this is simply because a lot of Follow Me users designed to help guarantee Trick Room being set up aren't able to apply enough offensive pressure. So if they get knocked out the same turn you click Trick Room, now you have 4 free turns and you get to bring in a sweeper for free, such as Torkoal. Now let's look at Trick Room sweepers. These Pokemon are slow, bulky, and strong, aiming to maximize damage during Trick Room's active turn. Examples include Torkoal, Gallade, Hatterene, or even in restricted formats, Bonnet, as well as Lunala and Calyrex Ice. They often carry items such as Life Orb, Choice Band, and Choice Specs to maximize all of their damage. However, they all risk being outsped once Trick Room is over, so this requires very careful timing and positioning to not only set up Trick Room, but also allow for an opportunity for your sweepers to come in uncontested. We've mentioned hard Trick Room and semi-Trick Room earlier, so let's break that down as well. Hard Trick Room teams aim to set Trick Room every game, using layers of supporting Pokemon to guarantee setup with Trick Room as the primary win condition. You can immediately tell if these teams are hard Trick Room teams if you see 2 to 3 setters, as well as 1 to 2 redirectors and 2 sweepers with 1 or none fast Pokemon. These teams aim to completely punch you in the gut every single turn with Terra, Fire, Choice Specs, Torkoal, Eruptions, as well as Ursaluna Facades. Semi-Trick Room are the teams that don't need Trick Room to win, but they have it as an option. You can tell if it's a semi-Trick Room team if there's not a lot of hard, dedicated support towards setting up Trick Room. An example could be a Trick Room setter, as well as 1 to 2 Pokemon who could abuse it. What some teams had liked to do in formats past were to use a Trick Room setter, such as Farigiraf, and have other Pokemon such as Incineroar and Rillaboom. All 3 are slow, so they benefit from having Trick Room up, so you can use that to twist the dimensions against opposing teams that rely on speed control, such as Tailwind to boost their own speed. These teams are usually more balance-oriented to give themselves as many options against all opponents. So, we're halfway there. If you're enjoying our content so far, please subscribe. We're hoping to post bi-weekly and provide the best content for players in the scene. We also have a Discord community. We offer monthly group coaching by top players in the world, as well as monthly prize pool tournaments to support suicide awareness. Our last tournament reached over 300 signups. So now let's look at advanced Trick Room concepts. Many players mistakenly think that Trick Room must go up on turn 1 every game. While sometimes true, advanced Trick Room play often involves choosing when not to set up Trick Room. They usually bait out the opponent's anti-Trick Room pieces by their leads, and they delay Trick Room for a safer window to set it up later. A lot of teams used to use Amoonguss as their Trick Room answer, so sometimes these Trick Room teams would focus first on removing Amoonguss before setting up Trick Room of their own. Sometimes the opponent also has the move Taunt, which blocks status and non-attacking moves. And given that Trick Room isn't an attacking move, it blocks this move for 3 turns. Be careful. Sometimes your opponent actually wants you to set up Trick Room so that their own Pokemon can counter sweep. Amoonguss is a perfect example. If your team doesn't really have a strong Amoonguss answer as a Trick Room team, you want to make sure you remove that before you set up Trick Room, because Amoonguss can put your entire team to sleep. Now, what beats Trick Room? There are some minor ways that you could effectively deal with Trick Room, such as priority attack. These moves don't rely on your speed stat, so even if you're the slowest Pokemon on the field, usually priority moves go first. You could also take the bulkier route and out-bulk your opponent. Examples include setting up screens and having damage mitigation, such as Intimidate. Screens such as Light Screen, Reflect, and Aurora Veil have the damage for physical and special attacks. You can also use tanks designed to obliterate if Trick Room is ever set up. My favorite example in past formats is actually Iron Hands. With its base 50 speed stat, it's able to completely outmuscle Trick Room. If Trick Room is a high-speed jet, Iron Hands is the immovable wall that crushes it with its hands. Trick Room is one of the most powerful and consistent strategies, and in my honest opinion, it's the ultimate form of speed control. Understanding this archetype will make you a far better and more adaptable player. So that's everything for today. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around. Adios, friends.